Health concerning the punishment of hard labor from 10 to 20 years and imposing a fine on anybody who kidnaps a person in order to extort a ransom. The maximum punishment would be imposed if the victim of the kidnapping is a minor under 18 years of age. The law provides for a verdict of hard labor if the abduction victim is detained for more than a month, or if he is subjected to physical or moral torture, or if the victim is an official carrying out his work. A terrorist gang calling itself the Support Front Jabhat al-Nusra, which belongs to al-Qaeda organization, admitted responsibility for the savage attack on the office of the Syrian news TV channel and the massacre of its employees.
Al-Nusra Front, which is affiliated to al-Qaeda organization, admitted responsibility for the savage attack on the headquarters of al-Ikhbariya Syrian news TV channel and the massacre of its employees. In a statement on its internet website, the front admitted that its members stormed the building of the channel at dawn last Wednesday and destroyed the studios and offices with explosive devices. 3 media men were murdered in cold blood in that terrorist attack.
In Hama, the engineering units dismantled an explosive device planted by the armed terrorist groups on Mharde al-Latamne road in Hama countryside. A source in the governorate said that the explosive device, which is a gas cylinder loaded with 50 kilograms of explosives, was planted on the side of the road. As the engineering units dismantled an explosive device which weighs 120 kilograms yesterday in Mharde countryside. It was planted and hidden at an intersection, and it was set up to be remotely detonated.
An official source in Homs denied the false reports of some TV channels about explosions in the central jail of Homs and possible massacres inside. The source in the prison administration asserted that such reports were groundless. The source pointed out that the general conditions in the prison are completely normal and relatives are allowed to visit the prison inmates in time as usual. In Latakia, security forces seized various kinds of weapons used by terrorists in Al-Hifa countryside. The seized weapons included Russian machine guns, pump-action guns and RPG launchers, in addition to mobile phones, military uniforms and medicine. Clashes between security forces and an armed terrorist group in Azaz in northern Aleppo led to the killing and injury of many terrorists. An official source in the city said that 4 bodies of the terrorists were identified. In Deir Ezzor city, security forces clashed with terrorist groups in the neighborhoods of Al-Hamidiyya and Jbeila, killing a number of terrorists and injuring others. An official source said the clash resulted in the destruction of a car equipped with machine guns, in addition to 4 other cars used by the terrorists. A terrorist group attacked a gas pipeline that transfers gas from Deir Ezzor gas plant to an electric power station, leading to the leak of large amounts of gas. A source at the Ministry of Oil said that the targeted line provides around 4.5 million cubic meters of gas to the power station. Meanwhile, a source at the Electricity Ministry said that this attack has affected power plants and led to the loss of around 1,200 megawatts. A terrorist gang fired a missile from the Lebanese territory on a Syrian border post facing the crossing point of Al-Biqa in northern Lebanon. 2 Syrian officials were wounded, according to a statement by the General Directorate of Security in Lebanon. The missile hit the Syrian Office of Migration and Passports. A Russian military source said that Moscow has information that affirms that the Turkish F-4 Phantom plane, which was downed by the Syrian anti-aircraft, had violated the Syrian airspace. Russia Today website quoted the source as saying that Russia has information on the exact location of the Turkish plane. Prime Minister Dr. Riyad Hijab chaired a meeting at the Ministry of Oil and Mineral Resources to discuss means of continuing the work of the oil sector and increasing its productivity during the current crisis and the difficulties it faces due to the sanctions imposed on it. Dr. Hijab underlined the importance of meeting the needs of citizens and the industrial and agricultural sectors regarding oil derivatives. He called for intensifying efforts to ensure the continuation of exploration and production operations, protecting oil facilities against terrorist attacks, and supplying oil refineries with their needs. He stressed the need for putting a mechanism to distribute oil and gas and taking strict measures to prevent illegal trading of these 2 raw materials.
Vice Foreign Minister Dr. Faisal al-Muqdad discussed with Dr. Yusuf Wild Abdel Jalil, the new envoy of the UNICEF in Syria, ways and means of cooperation between Syria and the UNICEF. Mr. Abdel Jalil affirmed commitment to such cooperation on the basis of mutual respect and confidence with various official and civil bodies. He also expressed appreciation of Syria's achievements in the field of protecting childhood in the last 4 decades. Syria has become a pioneer in the region. Dr. al-Muqdad stressed Syria's readiness to continue cooperation and coordination with the UNICEF, facilitating its work and implementing its programs with all its partners to serve Syria's children. He also called for accuracy in reporting events concerning Syria and its children in the current circumstances. Minister of State for National Reconciliation Affairs Dr. Ali Haidar said that the ministry was preparing a work program for next stage, which aims at activating the ministry's role in verifying facts and inspecting the citizens' affairs and problems to achieve national reconciliation. Meeting members of the National Work Forum in Hama, Mr. Haidar said that the ministry would take daily procedures to achieve civil and social peace that would contribute to finding a peaceful solution to the current crisis. He called for establishing good relations to preserve the strong structure of the state despite different ideas and thoughts concerning national dialogue, and listening to all viewpoints as essential factors to overcome the crisis and restore Syria's strength in the face of all foreign challenges. In occupied Palestinian territories, the Israeli occupiers continue their strikes on Gaza, targeting Deir al-Balah. Palestinian sources said that an Israeli war jet launched 3 missiles on South Gaza, causing the injury of a Palestinian. Moreover, in an attempt to heighten the siege that has been going on for more than 3 years, the Israeli gunships renewed attacks on fishermen boats of Gaza and South Rafah, hitting their livelihood. In a related development, the Israeli forces of occupation stormed the industrial zone in Jenin. Over to Libya, threatened by sedition and armed chaos following the NATO interference and the destruction of its infrastructure. Gunmen stormed today the so-called Higher National Commission for Elections in Benghazi, demanding more autonomy for East Libya, burning electoral cards and equipment. 300 gunmen carried computers and voting boxes outside the building, bashing them, and while repeating calls for autonomy. The Transitional Council in the eastern Libyan province of Barta, calling for an autonomy, had argued and urged that Libyans to sanction the elections on July 7th. The jacaranda tree covers large areas in Syria. It is a semi-permanent green plant known for its beauty and beautiful flowers, which makes it an icon in most Damascene gardens. A closer
The jacaranda, or as scientifically called Jacaranda cutifolia, is a beautiful tree that grows abundantly on our roads and gardens, although originally from Australia. It's a middle-sized tree with lots of branches, lush green leaves looking like fern leaves, and bell-like violet or purple blossoms.
The jacaranda tree is a very pretty tree. It grows in the gardens, adding a touch of beauty to the place. It grows a lot in Damascus.
Its blossoms bloom in dense, beautiful clusters. The blossoms are at their height in summer to soon fall down and come back again in autumn.
It's an extremely beautiful tree. It shades its leaves that are green most of the time, but it soon grows more leaves.
The tree is usually large. It adds a lot of charm to where it grows. The best climate for this tree in all of Syria is that of Damascus.
And with this we conclude our news for today. For more details and news about Syria and the region, you can always visit our website in English, www.syrianaonline.sy. But now stay with us.